Hi everybody. You know, a very inspired man once said, by small and simple things, great things are brought to pass. And we're going to talk about that today with Leader Standard Work on As a Matter of Fact. The concept is sound. You've got a small rudder in the back of the boat, and that's going to steer the boat anywhere in the world. You've got a gas pedal with 1 foot on a car. You can get the car from 0 to screaming as fast as you can. Even the great James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, which is one of the greatest books I've ever read, he spends a significant time on changing our behaviors by 1% and just watching the exponential growth that creates. I mean, it's a solid principle all the way around. Well, today we're going to be talking about some of those small and simple changes that's brought huge changes to teams that I'm a part of and can bring great things about. So we're going to talk about Leader Standard Work. Okay, so what's the big deal about Leader Standard Work? Standard Work's been a tool from lean methodology for forever. It's been described as a means of establishing a procedure to make products the safest and the easiest and the most effective to streamline your systems. So Standard Work gets the functional process of consistently creating whatever it is your company specializes in. Leader Standard Work takes it a step further in an organization. So KaizenNews.com describes Leader Standard Work as a way for leaders to ensure their teams are working to standardized work process. Leader Standard Work is checking the checker. One thing, however, it is not is a to-do list. Leader Standard Work is an opportunity for both you and your team. It verifies that work is being done and prompt conversations with those who are doing the work in the moment out there on the floor. So next question is, how do you set it up? So to set up Leader Standard Work, you got to give yourself some time. I mean, first and foremost, it's going to take just a minute. So you got to sit down. You got to think about, if the perfect person had your role and made 0 mistakes, what would that person be doing every day? Like, without fail, what would they be doing? And then I just let myself write, right? What would they be checking? How often would they be checking it? Who would they need to see to verify the standard is being followed every day? How would they act? Which meetings would they prepare for? How would they prepare for them? How much time would be involved in being in the office versus being out on the floor or out in the field every day? How much time would they go and see what was happening to their teams and checking in with them? What essential functions on their teams would they be responsible for? Now, it's a gut check, right? And it's a list that's going to perpetually grow, and that's the beautiful part about this. It's a living document. Once you have your list, though, once it's ready to go, you decide how often each of these things should be checked. I mean, is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Right? Semi-annually? That part's up to you and to what you visualize as what the perfect cadence would be for that person, right? So step number 2, you print it out. You put it on a card. This is the card, one of the cards that I use right here for my Leader Standard Work, and I can go through this the course of the day, and I can say, comparing myself to the perfect person who has my position right now, this is kind of how I stack up, and this is kind of what I need to do in order to improve it. So the thing of this small and simple thing that we're working on right now with Leader Standard Work is the flow that this can accomplish on your team. Follow the paper, or in my case, the card, and you do those things that perfect employee would do. And this ripples down to your team. You build the capability of your team through these small micro trainings that happen as you do your Leader Standard Work. Okay, so how does this work for me? I can tell you, when I started, I was a little kind of skeptical. It's a to-do list, right? I didn't quite understand the power of and the reality that it's not. This is a way to measure yourself against that perfect position. So I have 10 people on my team right now that I lead. We all went in it together. We made this master list of everything in our department that we have to do on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and the list was massive. And then we started breaking it up into who has what. If they ran their job perfectly, who has what and what does it look like? and then you know, we stair-stepped it after that. So I don't have to look at each function of all 10 people every day. That micromanaging is not what it is. It's more of micro training. So I check in with them. I ask them how their day's going. We do a morning check-in, say, hey, what does it look like? We do a midday check-in and say, do you need any support, you know, along the way? So I'm there to simply verify that their standard work is completed, and if it's not completed, it's my job as their leader to get things out of the way so that they can complete them. The difference this has made in my team is it's a real night and day difference. It's amazing what a little tiny 3x5 card can do. They post their cards at the beginning of every week. They put a percentage on it, the percentage that they have done compared to the perfect percentage, and where we're at is an 80% standard. If we can hit 80% of the perfect person doing that job, then we figure we're in a pretty good place. And some weeks we're at 100% as a department, which is amazing as the leader and as a member of the department, because you know you're getting it all done. And then there are other weeks when things come in. I mean, life happens, business happens, and you have to flex to priorities. So some weeks I'm only at 50% or 60% of where I should be, but I know that. And that's the useful part of this whole thing, is that perpetual growth cycle. It's protected on that card. You know, different priorities come or different things happen that we need to take some things on, put some things on the card or take some things off the card. It's not a problem. It's you just do it. The card doesn't control your life. Leader standard work doesn't control your life, but it shows that path in front of you where you should be if you had it all together, right? And then you get to kind of pick the next thing you want to focus on to build that percentage up. So that's my experience with leader standard work. Give it a try. See what happens with it with you. I can tell you, for me and my group of 10, absolutely gold. I can turn around with that percentage, and I can go to my leaders in the company and say, right now we're 80% of our leader standard work right now. Part of that is floor time, and this is the amount of time that we are on the floor in the field. It's a really easy way to build that metric so that you can help grow your team. So I hope this helps. Give it a shot, see how it works for you. Let me know, put it in the comments below here, and hopefully this will be something that adds value to your day. And with that, everybody, have a fantastic week. Good luck with this. Give it a shot. Give it a real good faith effort, and watch the magic that happens as a result of this, and let me know. And everyone, we'll talk to you next time.